Hello everyone, good morning, happy Saturday. Today, we'll be talking about Stanley Cup Playoffs Round 2 predictions. Welcome back to another video. I am Cameron Simpson. Today we'll be talking about Stanley Cup Playoffs Round 2. We're going to be making my predictions today, as well as talking about the games. We're going to be making predictions, talking about the series, how long they'll go, how many games I'm going to put them in today, and I have a quick disclosure that I need to get to that has been bugging me since I put the video out for last round. As well as today I posted a How Well Do My Sister Know Sports video. Came out a little bit later than I expected. I thought it would come out Friday, but I actually went golfing yesterday, so it did not come out yesterday, but it came out this morning. Go check that one out if you haven't already. Very, very good video, and you guys will enjoy it. But besides that, let's get into today's video. So, last video I talked about the Stanley Cup playoffs. I made my round predictions, and then I tried to bring the playoff board out here. And I made a ginormous big prediction on every single series, every single game, who's going to win what. And I figured out that I did that completely wrong because the Stanley Cup playoffs are changing this year. They're actually going from, they're going to reseed. So there's no longer going to be a West and East. There could be two West teams in the playoffs, in the Stanley Cup. There could be two East teams in the Stanley Cup. It's going to be completely different this year. They're actually going to completely reseed everyone after this round. So, for example, if the Bruins win, they will take on, and if the Avalanche win, the Avalanche and Bruins will play each other in a round, and that because 1 versus a 4 seed, and that's kind of how it's going to go. If the Lightning win and the Bruins win, a 2 and a 3 seed might go at it. That's kind of how it looks like it could shape up. I'm still trying to wrap my head on about all the different scenarios right now on who would play who and the seeding, so it's going to be pretty confusing on who's going to play who and how the seeding is going to work, so you got to stay tuned for the round 3 prediction video that's going to be coming out. But yes, seeding is going to be confusing, and I actually completely love this idea of them completely reseeding everyone, completely having a new entire team, a new entire thing going. I really do enjoy that because now we're going to have teams from the West play the East, and we're going to have teams from the East play the West. East versus East, West versus West. It's not going to be completely two-sided until we get to the Stanley Cup. It's going to be everybody together. It's going to be awesome to see this. We also haven't seen any of these teams come out of their restricted divisions this year. They have not played any out-of-division games. So when I made my Stanley Cup prediction video, and I picked the Avalanche to win the Cup, I still strongly think the Avalanche are going to win the Cup. Not strongly as that much as I did before. Now knowing that I'm really rooting for the Bruins to go out and go win the Cup. But I also am rooting 100% that I'm kind of thinking, I'm not rooting for the Avalanche, but I think going off, I'm going to keep my pick Avalanche. I'm going to keep it that way. I'm not going to change it because now I know about the reseeding. No, I'm going to keep it Avalanche, strictly Avalanche. But I really do hope the Bruins can go. That's who I'm rooting for. But I think the Avalanche are going to win the Cup. And now, looking at it and looking at the way the series are going to play out, and it's going to be a lot harder for them to win the Cup, but the way I made my Stanley Cup prediction video and the way I made my Stanley Cup prediction this year was basically off of last season, basically off of what we knew from last season in the playoffs, in the bubble, what they kind of did last year, the Avalanche. Now, they didn't have a great bubble performance, and again, I'm not saying that it was also a bubble. They really never played the East teams. These teams have not played each other since last year, a while back. Avalanche, Bruins, they haven't played each other in a while. Wild Bruins, Wild Tampa Avalanche, they have not played in a really long time. They haven't even played since we went into the bubble environment. So it's going to be an awesome thing to see some of these teams play for the first time in almost 2 years coming up. That's going to be awesome. So that is just something I wanted to mention before we get into the deep stuff. But I'm keeping my playoffs predictions basically plain and simple. Basically, I'm keeping them the same that they were, except you kind of have to take that video now and know that I didn't know they were reseeding everybody. So that video, the last part of that video, is kind of wrong now because of the fact that they reseeded them, but I'm still keeping my same Cup predictions now. My same who will win the Cup, I'm keeping that the same, but it might not work as well as we thought. All right, let's get into today's video. Now. Oh, and I misspoke. The Bruins are a 3 seed, not a 4 seed. I just wanted to get that out of the way. But let's get into today's prediction video. Now, we don't know every single team in round 2 yet. We don't know all 8 teams. There's 9 teams that you're going to see on this board today, but we don't know all 8 teams. So we're going to start with the one that we don't know. We do know that the Winnipeg Jets are going in. We know the Winnipeg Jets are on their way into the Stanley Cup playoffs. They advanced. They beat Edmonton in a very good way. Basically, I could say they almost swept them. I mean, in Game 5, they beat them. It was a pretty handedly win. They will either play Toronto or Montreal. They'll either play Toronto or Montreal. That's going into Game 7, I believe, or Game 6. It might be Game 6. I don't know exactly on the top of my head. But I do know that they're either going to play Toronto or Montreal in this one. So I don't know who they're going to play. I'm not really going to make a prediction of who they're going to play because I already kind of made that prediction and I think Montreal's going to win that series. So if Montreal does win that series, who wins? Winnipeg or Montreal? Now, Montreal is playing very good lately, but I really think that if Montreal ends up winning the series against Toronto, that Winnipeg will beat them. The same thing now, if Toronto were to win the series with Montreal and Toronto, who would win in that case? In my opinion, in that case, Toronto will lose and Winnipeg will win as well. I think Winnipeg will win either way this series goes. Winnipeg's a very good team, and they've proven that. Toronto is not playing great. Montreal isn't there yet. I don't think they're there yet to be a team like Winnipeg. So I think Winnipeg will win no matter which team plays. Winnipeg's going to win that series. So that's just my prediction there. So I got the Canadiens division out of the way right there because it is chaotic. Canadian division started later than any other division in the playoffs, so they might be behind for a while, so we'll probably have to do this a lot. Now let's head to the Boston Bruins versus the number 4 New York Islanders. A 3 and a 4. This series is going to be amazing. Now, why is this series going to be amazing? Well, if you missed it, the New York Islanders had a huge amount of fans in the stands, and it was awesome to see, and they were loud. And starting tonight in Massachusetts, and the only reason I know this is because, well, I am a Bruins fan, and so this is what it is. Fans are back in the building at the TD Garden tonight. Fans are back in the TD Garden tonight. It's going to be awesome to see that happen. Again, restrictions being lifted. I think they're at 100% tonight. Very close to 100%. The TD Garden, I think, is like, I don't know what exactly the percent is for capacity, but it's going to be a packed house. So much packed that the Massachusetts State Police sent out things to fans, just letting them know, make sure to continue to follow the rules that of the road and stuff, because it is going to be that many fans, and we haven't had this many fans at the Garden in a really long time. And we're finally here, we're finally back, and this is awesome. It's awesome that both of these states have really been strict about coronavirus, and now we see both of them welcoming fans back in the stands. Bruins, Islanders, fans are going to be a factor in this series. Don't even let that go. Fans will be a big factor in this series, and I strongly agree that the fans are going to have a factor in the series. It's going to be loud in the building. Starting tonight at 8 o'clock, the Bruins, it's going to be loud in the TD Garden tonight. It's going to be awesome in the TD Garden tonight. Now, the TD Garden's had fans, but has they had 100% fans? Have they had a packed house? No, and I believe tickets sold out because they announced fans on Thursday, and I believe tickets sold out by Friday. It was a pretty full house. And then Islanders fans have been insane against that game against Pittsburgh, and I think that's part of the reason the Islanders won that game. They would get wicked loud, they would start to tone it down, and then they would score, and it would be loud. They score, and would continue to be loud. That place was shaken. It was very awesome to see. I'm thinking it's going to be the same thing with the Bruins in this series, and having home ice advantage, I think I can say that home ice is an advantage now. Home ice is officially back. It is an advantage. These fans are going to be giving it to the crowd now. It is officially an advantage. And this is something that the teams from inside the states have that the Canadian teams don't. The Canadian teams are going to head back into the United States at a neutral site, but they're not going to have Toronto and Canadian fans there, or they're not Winnipeg fans. None of them are going to be in that neutral site once we get into the next round when we're going back and shuffling through divisions. Like, no one's going to be there in that division. It's going to be very, very awesome to see. Now, for my predictions, I didn't expect the Islanders would go through, but they did again. If I remember last year, rooting against the Islanders was not very good for me. The Islanders did not like me rooting against them, and they don't like that again this year. The Bruins, I said, would win. They did, and they beat the Capitals pretty good. I was actually pretty impressed. And now, this series, I think goaltending is going to be a major, major factor between the two teams, and I think that's going to be the biggest factor. Goaltending and the way the Islanders run their defense in the slot is going to be an extremely difficult thing for the Bruins to defend. So, my pick for this series, you guys ready? Here it is. I think the Bruins will win in 6 games. It's going to be a very close series. I think it will go into 6. And I think the Bruins are going to end up taking it out. I think the Bruins will win their first 2 games at home. I think the Islanders will rebound and win 1 game at home. And the Bruins will win the other one. And then the Islanders will win 1 again when they head back home. And it will make 3-2. And the Bruins will win Game 6 on the road. I kind of think that's how it's going to go. But we'll see what happens on that one. I kind of had to just kind of do that through my head. All right, next game. Tampa Bay Lightning, the number... all right, let's head to our next game. The Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Carolina Hurricanes. The number 1 Carolina Hurricanes versus the number 3 Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, what a series this is going to be. This is going to be an exciting series. And talk about Carolina and Predator series being awesome. Let's just say it didn't disappoint. It was a very interesting, very exciting series that I enjoyed. I think you guys probably enjoyed it as well, and it was exciting. Carolina Hurricanes were able to take it home, and now the Tampa Bay Lightning were able to basically, I would say, dominate the Florida Panthers, and then, in that matter, the number 2 Florida Panthers able to dominate them. You need to pick where you want to go. And the domination was there. The team was playing very good, and I think I don't think that's going to stop. I think that's going to continue, and so we'll see what goes on there. But I think it's going to be a major, major factor in this series of who's the better team, who's going to be the more dominant team. Like, well, that's going to be a factor here. Carolina Hurricanes are going to bring their best game, and their best game could be a big one for the Lightning to handle. But the Stanley Cup champion Lightning have been playing extremely good hockey, and they got some big guys back there, some major factors in that team. Now, are the Lightning the same Lightning team last year when I saw them make their Cup run? No, they're not the same Cup team that we saw last year. They are not the same team. So I don't know what this one's going to go. I think this could go 7 games. But I don't know. It's going to be a tough one for me. I'm picking the Lightning in 7. Yeah, I'm going 7. The series is going to be tight. Picking Lightning in 7, and we'll see where it goes from there. But yeah, this is going to be a tight series, I think. And I think there's an extremely good chance that this one goes 7. So, we'll see. All right, let's go to the Avalanche versus the Vegas Golden Knights. The Golden Knights able to pull it through. If you guys forgot my last video, I kind of said, well, it would be the best bet for the Avalanches to have the Wild go through, because the Wild would be the least competitive for them. Well, the Golden Knights snuck in there and kind of got into their position by really beating the Wild handedly in that series. So both of my predictions were right on this one, pretty much right down on the money. I did very good in my round 1 predictions. Only got a couple wrong, but this one was, yeah, pretty right, pretty consistent. I'm probably thinking about the way the Avalanche are playing right now is very good hockey, able to sweep the Blues, but are the Blues that competitive? Now, let's be honest. No, the Blues aren't that competitive. The Blues are just, I think they're a fluke, and I think that's the St. Louis Blues. They're a fluke team. I don't think they're ever going to make it back to the Cup for a couple of years because it's so competitive out there, and I think they're just a fluke team. The Avalanche are not. I don't think the Avalanche are a fluke, but they've known for choking it in the playoffs, and I wouldn't be shocked if they choke it here. The Golden Knights have made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals before, actually all the way to the Stanley Cup before when they played the Washington Capitals. So I also wouldn't be shocked if the Golden Knights are able to pull this one off. They've had experience here. So have the Avalanche. So who am I picking? I'm going to go with the Avalanche in 7 games. I think it's going to be a very close series. This is going to be a long round. You won't see me talking about this one for a while. This is going to be a long round. So buckle up and get ready. A long round is coming. But yeah, I picked the Avalanche in this one. Avalanche in 7 games. We'll see what happens. I probably won't be able to stay up that late to watch those games because those games are on so late. They're just on so late. I'm happy most of the West teams didn't make it this year, so we don't have to worry about all that. But yeah, that is it for this video. That's it for my Stanley Cup playoff round 2 predictions. The 8 teams that are going to go out there and compete begins tonight, 8 o'clock, NBC, Bruins, Islanders. Be ready for that one. It's going to be awesome. Get your popcorn and buckle in. And also, if you're getting popcorn ready, maybe stay tuned for tomorrow night because I'm going to be watching the Coca-Cola 600 to see who's going to pull out that victory. So stay tuned for that as well. That video will be coming out Monday. But thank you all for watching this video. Hope you have a fabulous day, and I will see you Monday. Peace.